Journalists, they said to mate Remac, the owner and founder of the supercar company called Rimac. They said to him, why have you not been able to sell your electric cars? He's only sold 50 of what was meant to be 150 that the company would build. And he's responded with a truly bizarre response. I kind of lost a little bit of respect for him here. I think his understanding of economics shows a lot to be desired. A lot of people are responding to this saying, is he serious? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Now, first of all, the story here, what actually happened. I first read this story and I thought, is this guy serious? I was a bit shocked by this guy. Honestly, I think if you are him, I have to question whether or not you are just delusional in your own hype. Sometimes famous people can become really delusional in their own hype, and they get involved in an interview and then you start to see how delusional they are. That's what I think here, guys. Maybe I'm wrong though. Here's what happened. Rimac the CEO was asked, what is going on with Remac's vehicle sales? Why have they only been able to sell 50 of their new electric supercar? Now, to be fair, this is technically right now the fastest electric car in the world. Not by much, to be honest. It's only very marginally faster than a whole bunch of different cars now. There's probably 20 cars now that are, a couple of percent slower. This week, Remac's CEO admitted that sales of the firm's $2 million Nevera hypercar have completely failed to meet expectations because buyers want a more analog, fuel-guzzling experience. Now, tell that to Ferrari, even Lamborghini, who are making hybrids. Anyhow, 3 years after the Nevera was launched, together with a plan to sell 150 of the Neveras, so it's been out for 3 years. This vehicle, by the way, has 1,888 horsepower. That's 1,408 kilowatt. It's got 4 motors. It's actually an incredibly impressive car. It can do the quarter mile in about 8.9 seconds repeatedly and easily. It's not a hard car. It's not an impossible car to get that launch time. You'll get it easily yourself if you just took it to any track. You don't need special prep work. You don't need all the stuff people do for drag racing, where they put special drag radials on. They have to warm the tires up. They need the right temperatures. They have to play with the settings. It'll just do these speeds, these performances straight out of the box. So if you're a rich dude, you buy this car, yeah, you can blow people away straight away easily, right? Only 50 though have been sold. Mate Rimac told attendees at the Financial Times Future of the Car conference in London why the vehicle has been a bit of a sales flop. It's been reported that demand for mainstream electric cars has softened recently. Well, Rimac partly blames the proliferation of those mass market EVs and governments and regulators' attempts to push clean cars onto the public for the Nevera's lackluster sales performance. That's an interesting take from someone that I would have thought was all for the adoption of EV power. But he sounds less that way these days. He said, we started to develop the Nevera in 2016, 2017 when electric was cool. But now we notice that as electrification is becoming mainstream, people at the top end of the sector want to differentiate themselves. He likened the trend to high net worth individuals' love for expensive analog watches that sell for far more than digital smartwatches that ordinary people wear, despite the trad timepieces being able to do far less. He says, an Apple Watch can do 1,000 more things. It's a lot more precise. It can measure your heart rate, but nobody would pay $200,000 for an Apple Watch. In other words, he's saying the Rimac Nevera is the most capable vehicle. It can do many, many things, but it doesn't have that iconic kind of status, right? Or is he saying that? Well, to be honest, he's basically saying EVs aren't cool, so people don't want electric supercars. But here's the thing. You can buy a Tesla Model S Plaid for, $90,000 now? And it has about 97% of the performance of this vehicle. So who is going to go and pay more than $2 million for this electric supercar, which to be honest, it's barely any faster than not just the Tesla Model S Plaid, but a range of vehicles. Like Zeekr 001 now, there's a version of their car that, what is kind of a family car, that's, well, almost as fast as this. It has about the same power. Then you've got the Lucid Sapphire. You've got electric supercars in China, which arguably are actually better than this. I mean, if you look at the new Aeon SSV, it has a full carbon monocoque. It's got not as much power, but it's significantly lighter. And when it comes to supercars, weight matters. So the Aeon SSV is priced at about $180,000 US. It has 12,000 newton meters of torque at the wheel, or 1,230 newton meters of torque, which is, it's enough. It can do 0 to 62 miles an hour, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 1.9 seconds. So yeah, it's a tiny bit slower than the Rimac Nevera, but it only costs 10% of the price. And a lot of people think the technology in Chinese EVs is superior to what we see in EVs that are made outside of China. So here's the thing. Massive numbers of supercars are actually sold in China. About 50% of the world's supercars are sold in China. So it is the Chinese partially that are deciding to vote with their money, and they're voting for the products that are maybe almost as good or maybe as good, but cost 10% of the price. So I kind of feel like it's not demand that is the issue. If it were demand that is the issue, then why do we have 3 different car companies in the last 6 months that have revealed new electric supercars? Imagine all the development work they're putting into these vehicles, right? They're going to sell their electric supercars for $200,000. If the demand was the issue, I think that these guys wouldn't be bothering. I think there is demand. The key problem here is price. $2 million is too much money. There's not a single Ferrari or Porsche vehicle or Lamborghini in terms of mainstream model that anyone buys that costs $2 million. The Rimac Nevera is more expensive than any Lamborghini, any Porsche, or any Ferrari currently on the market, right? So why would these people go and buy what is essentially an unknown brand with really no heritage, no prestige behind it, for more than they would pay for a supercar that has 50, 60, 70, 80 years of brand heritage? When it comes to brands, then that matters, right? Rimac, if they had come in and priced the car at a reasonable price of, say, $500,000, demand could have been drastically different. So pricing here, in my opinion, is the key reason, not the fact that it is electric. But let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.